Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new, and happy Halloween! I look crazy right now, but I am about to do some Halloween makeup. It's Halloween right now as I'm filming this. I have no plans, I'm not going anywhere, but I don't know, I feel like I'm missing out by not dressing up, so I thought that I would film a get ready with me, do some Halloween makeup, and tell you guys my paranormal experiences. I love watching these videos so much, and I don't have a lot of stories to share, but I have a few, and I figured in the spirit of Halloween, I would share them. So first things first, I'm going to put on this wig because my hair right now is looking so greasy and horrendous. Ugh. There we go. I look so much like Draco Malfoy's dad from Harry Potter. And I'm not gonna bother, since I'm literally not going anywhere, I'm not gonna bother like gluing down the lace or anything like that. But I'm gonna do like an Ice Queen, Ice Witch kind of makeup look. So just to preface this, I'm always like on the fence and back and forth about whether or not I believe in paranormal stuff. I mean, I don't know. I guess I do believe in it. I'm not someone that just easily believes when something happens, oh, it's a ghost. Like, that's not my first go-to thing. Like, I usually will try to think of, like, you know, more logical answers first. So I guess I'll just go in chronological order of when these things happened. I also feel like they progressively get, like, creepier and creepier, too. So, the first one happened, I want to say I was maybe a senior in high school. So my friend Molly was working at the mall at Hallmark at the time. So me and our friend Taylor had went to the mall close to closing time to meet up with Molly at the store. It was just her and one other girl working. They were closing up for the night, and then we were going to go and hang out after. So we just decided to meet her there and, you know, whatever, hang out with her at the store until the mall closed. So it was maybe like 15 minutes to closing, and I'm just walking up and down the aisles. We're all just kind of chatting, and my friend Molly is up at the register. Her coworker is in the back doing something, and then our friend Taylor is over on the other side of the store, also just like looking at random cards up and down the aisles. So I'm standing in the aisle and I'm reading one of the cards, and out of the corner of my eye, I see a man coming down the aisle. And so I don't even think anything of it. I literally just like take a step forward closer to the shelf so that I can like get out of his way, because I see that he's walking like straight down towards in my direction. So I just step out of his way. Nobody walks by. And so I look up and I'm like, that's so weird. Because even though I didn't like look straight at him and get a close look of him and I couldn't see like his face, but I could definitely tell that it was like a tall man with like brown hair. So I step out of my aisle, and now mind you, this store is pretty small. It's not like some big store that people could get lost in it. Like if someone's in there, you can tell. Also, the entrance to the store is right by the front desk where my friend Molly was standing. So if anybody had came in or out of the store, she would have seen them. She also wasn't looking down and doing anything. She was just standing there looking out to the store, talking to me and our friend Taylor. So I said to her, was there a guy just in here? Like, did someone just come in here and leave? And she was like, no, why? What are you talking about? And so I told her how I swore I just saw somebody coming down the aisle. And she was like, no, nobody else is in here. It's literally just us. Like, I didn't see anybody. And then she starts saying, oh my God, that must be my coworker's ghost. And I'm like, I'm sorry? So then she calls her coworker out from the back, and she starts telling us some story about how some like male ghost has been haunting her. And for the last few months, there's just been like this male spirit that literally follows her, and she'll like wake up in the middle of the night and he'll just be like sitting at the foot of her bed, like weird, creepy shit like that. I don't even know. I don't remember all the details of her story, but the point is she claimed that she had some ghost haunting her. And when she described what he looked like, tall man with brown hair. If you can hear everybody upstairs, my family is up there passing out Halloween candy, and you know, they're just enjoying their Halloween. Try to ignore that. So, like I said, I tried to explain things away with logic first, but in that situation, like nothing made sense because like I said, I saw him coming down the aisle straight towards me, and then I looked up like a couple seconds later and no one was there. So, I mean, there's no way, it's physically impossible that somebody could have just completely disappeared out of sight that fast without any of us seeing them come in or leave the store. You know what I mean? And then not only that, but for this girl to be like, oh yeah, that's my ghost, and it fits the same description. I mean, I know that like a tall man with dark hair is not like super specific, but still, I don't know. It was just, it's a little bit of a weird coincidence. So the second story actually took place at one of my jobs. I was working, this happened, I was in college. It was the summer after my junior year of college. So 2013 this happened. I was working over the summer at a local, it was like a resort, water park kind of place. Any of you guys that live in like the Northeast, you might be familiar with Camel Beach Water Park or Camelback. That's where it was, that's where I was working. So the company itself, they own just like a whole bunch of land and they have a whole bunch of different stuff going on. They have an indoor water park, they have an outdoor water park, they have a ski mountain, they have a place where they do like zip lining and that kind of stuff. There's a lot going on there. So the whole summer I was working at the outdoor water park, which is down at the bottom of the mountain. And then they have a ski lift that'll take you from the water park up to the very top of the mountain. And that's where they let the people down that are zip lining. And there's also a little mini like restaurant up there. They just basically sell like snacks and like chicken fingers and crap like that. I wouldn't really call it a restaurant, but you can get food up there. So the last weekend that I was working there, they had me working up at the top of the mountain. They call it Camel Top. And that was my first time ever even going up there at all, let alone working up at that part. I think I'm looking more like a ghost than a nice queen. So anyway, I was working up there and it was just me and one other woman working. And then once we were getting ready to close, she said to me, okay, I'm gonna go lock the doors and I'm gonna go to the back and clean the bathrooms. You just clean up out here in the main area. So when you first walk in, there's just like a main open like seating area with a bunch of tables. And then to the side is the cash register and the little like area where you can, you know, get your food. And then if you go over to the right and in the back is the bathroom. So again, it wasn't a big place. There was only one entrance to go in or out. And she said she was going to lock the doors. There was nobody in there. As I'm cleaning, I see somebody out of the corner of my eye standing over by the one wall. And it looked like a woman that was wearing a like big white dress. And I literally like am turning my body and I'm going to say like, excuse me, ma'am, can I help you? We're closed for the day. And as I turn and like the words are coming out of my mouth, I turn, no one is there. And I was so sure, like, you know, sometimes you see something or you think you see something out of the corner of your eye, but then you're like, oh no, maybe I was like just imagining things or it was a shadow or whatever. No, I was so sure that I saw somebody there. So I go to check, the doors are locked. So I go to the bathrooms where my coworker is cleaning and I'm like, did you see anybody in here? Did anyone come in? She was like, no, I checked, like no one was here and then I locked the doors. Oh, hell no. Then come to find out, employees have been saying for the longest time that it's haunted up there, and supposedly the guy that was like the original owner of that property, they claim that they see him and his wife. So I cleaned up my area and I got the hell out of there as quickly as possible because So then the last story, which is the most recent one, I actually talked about this in a vlog like months back. So if you guys saw that video already, you'll know part of this story, but I have a little bit of an update. So I started working in the salon where I work like a year and a half ago. And I don't know, I never really got like creepy vibes from it. I never felt like uncomfortable or anything, but I was also never there alone or at night. So once I started doing eyelash extensions, my schedule changed a little bit because I was a lot busier, and so I was working longer hours. This eyeliner is so dried out. It's like barely doing anything. So some nights I would easily be there until like at least 9 o'clock at night. And I'd be there by myself because at the salon, like we all kind of just have our own hours. We don't take walk-ins and we all have our own key. So, you know, if my boss is done for the night with all of her clients, she's not going to just stay and hang around an extra like 4 hours waiting till I'm done for the night because I have my own key. I can lock up. I'm fine. And it honestly didn't bother me. It didn't really creep me out because I feel pretty safe there. I live with my parents, so being at the salon by myself was actually kind of nice because it was like my only time to be alone and get like actual privacy. The point is, I didn't feel creeped out because I know that like if you are already feeling like really on edge and nervous and scared, little things that aren't really like that big of a deal are gonna like freak you out and you're gonna like exaggerate and blow them out of proportion. So just to preface, that was not the situation. Like I was totally comfortable and fine being there at night by myself. So I would say I was doing this for a few weeks, maybe a month before I started to notice weird sounds. And just to give you guys an idea of what the salon looks like and how the layout is, I will insert some clips and show you. So my room where I do lashes is upstairs on the 2nd floor. Downstairs where you walk in is like the waiting room and where the receptionist desk is. To the right is where all of our stations are. Then if you go back further, there's the bathroom straight ahead, and then we have like a processing room where we have like the hair dryers on the left, and then in the back to the right is our color room, our mixing room, our like little break room, whatever. And then if you go up the stairs, my lash room is up there, and then we also have a little side room where we have like our photography studio where we take our after pictures. I think this is basically done. This is the final touch. My boss actually hand makes these like cool crystal hair pieces, and I just thought that this one was so cute, so I had to borrow it for my costume. Yeah, I don't know if this really screams Ice Queen or I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so whenever I'd be there alone, especially if I was doing someone's lashes and we were going to be going upstairs, I would make sure to lock the front door so that nobody could come in, because obviously I'm upstairs, I can't see anyway, like no one's down there. They could easily come in and just steal stuff, steal money from the register. So I was working on a client one night and all of a sudden she's laying there talking, I'm doing her lashes, and I hear the door open downstairs, or at least that's what I'm thinking that I'm hearing. It sounded like the door opened downstairs and somebody walked in and is just walking around downstairs. I didn't want to freak her out, so I didn't say anything, but I was just kind of like waiting and listening, and it just sounded like somebody was walking around, and then eventually the noise just kind of stopped. So after I'm done with her, we go downstairs so she can pay, and I double check the door was still locked. Nothing looked disturbed, nothing was moved around, nothing was missing. So I was like, okay, that's a little weird. Maybe I was just imagining things. I think it happened a second time too, where again, I could have swore I heard somebody open the door and walk around downstairs and just like kind of pacing around, walking from like room to room downstairs. But again, my client didn't hear anything. And then after we went back downstairs, door was still locked, nothing was disturbed. And I told my parents about it, I told my boyfriend about it. My dad and my boyfriend both were just like, you're just imagining things. It probably just creeps you out being there alone at night and you must just be hearing things, or maybe it's noises coming from outside that you're hearing. And I'm not even thinking that like it's some paranormal shit going on. Like my number one concern is that somebody is actually physically, like a real person is coming into the salon. So I went around and I made sure that all of the windows were locked, everything was locked, everything was secured. So my friend Tanya comes in for a lash fill. Again, it's at night. We're the only ones at the salon. I lock the door behind us. We go upstairs. I start doing her lashes. And every time I have a client, I always have music playing. And when it's one of my friends, especially like in this case, we had the music up pretty loud. It was just us in the salon. So we're just like talking, laughing, you know, singing along to the music, enjoying ourselves. All of a sudden, I start hearing the noise again. And it's the same thing. It sounds like somebody's opening the front door, coming inside and walking around, pacing around downstairs. So then Tanya stops and she's like, is somebody downstairs? And that's when I just like lost it, because this whole time I'm thinking like it's just me, because I was only the one that was hearing it. Like none of my clients ever stopped or said anything, so I assumed they never heard anything. But the fact that like she heard it too, and that we could hear it over our talking and over the music, like it was that loud and that distinct that we both were like, oh my God, somebody is in here. And I turned down the music, and I'm just like, all of these thoughts are rushing through my mind, and all of a sudden we hear footsteps coming up the stairs. And Tanya all of a sudden goes, is someone coming up the stairs? So the fact that she's hearing the exact same things that I am and just confirming what I'm hearing, I just sit there and I'm frozen. I don't know what to do, because I legitimately think someone is walking up these stairs right now. And I don't know if they're going to try to like kill us, rob us, rape us. I don't know. Like, what do I do? Like, I have my tweezers. I could try to stab them with that. I don't know. Like, what am I going to do? So hear the footsteps coming up the stairs, and right before they get to the top landing, the noise just stops completely. And then that's it. I don't hear any other sounds. And we are both freaking out. And that's when I start telling her how I've been hearing these noises over the last couple of weeks. So we both creep downstairs. The door is still locked. The windows are all locked. Nothing is moved around. There's no sign that someone broke in or that anyone was there. And I mean, if somebody is going to be breaking into the salon, don't you think that they would be stealing stuff? Like, what is the point? Why would you just come in, walk around, and then just leave and not do anything, take anything? Like, all the money was still in the register. All the products were still there. Like, very, very weird. Then there was another day where me and my coworkers were upstairs. We were in the photography studio room. It was in the middle of like a regular day, but we all had a break in our schedule where we didn't have any clients. So we were like, oh, let's take like some cute pictures for Instagram or whatever. So we're upstairs in the photography room. We have music on. It's like the same volume as when I'm doing lashes. Have the music on. We're all talking, laughing, whatever, taking pictures, you know. And all of a sudden I stop and I pause the music, and I'm like, somebody's here, because again, I hear the sound of the door open and somebody walk in downstairs. And they both didn't hear anything. They're like, what are you talking about? Sure enough, a few seconds later, we hear somebody yell up, Courtney, are you here? It was one of my boss's clients. She stopped in because she wanted to like buy a product or something. But that just goes to show that the sound that I'm hearing is such a distinct sound. Like in that case, it was actually a real person coming inside, and that was the exact same sound that I would hear when I'd be there alone at night. So it's a distinct sound. It's like loud enough that I can hear it over the music. Do you know what I mean? So again, like I'm trying to find a logical explanation, but I don't know, it was just very weird. A few nights later, I'm upstairs with a client and my boss is downstairs in the back color room. On the front door to the salon, there's just like a big glass window. So she said she distinctly heard somebody knocking on the glass of the door, and then the door opening, somebody pushing it open and taking like 2 steps inside. And so she just like stuck her head around the corner, because from where she was in the color room, it literally just takes 2 seconds for you to just like, you know, come around that corner so that you can see the front entranceway. So she stuck her head around the corner because she thought somebody was walking inside. That's what she heard. No one was there, and the door was shut. There also would be multiple times where I would be working on a lash client at night, and out of the corner of my eye, I would see just like a dark, shadowy figure. And I never really saw any details. Like with the first 2 stories, I saw detail. This time, I couldn't see any detail. It was just like a shadow. It was always in the same spot that I would see it every time. So when I'm sitting at my seat doing lashes, I have the perfect view of the top of the stairs. In the clip that you're seeing right now, my boss has these old fur coats that belong to her grandmother. She just brought them in recently. They're creepy as hell in my opinion, but they were not there when all of this was going on. There's nothing dark. There's nothing there that creates a shadow of any sort. So it's just weird that I would be seeing this shadow and then look up, like nothing is there. So that would happen quite often. And again, it was always in the same spot, like right kind of at the top of the stairs. It just kind of felt like somebody was there, like looking into the room, watching me. So then my boss was like, oh, we should talk to our one client, she's mentioned that she like reads angel cards and she is, you know, in tune with the spirit world. I don't want to like call her a psychic. I don't think she refers to herself as that. She has an extra sense, I guess we'll say. So one day she came in and I was talking to her about everything that's been going on. And I was like, I just want to know like if you've ever sensed anything here. Like, do you pick up on any kind of energy? And she just stopped and was like, oh my God, I'm so glad that you said something. I guess the first time that she ever came into the salon, my boss gave her like a little tour of the place because it was like when she had first opened. So she was like, you know, all excited and giving everybody a tour. And she said when she came upstairs, she immediately could feel like a shift in like the aura, I guess. And then that room, our photography studio room, she said as soon as she stepped in there, the air felt so heavy and she could just feel that there was something there. And she said that the, I guess, energy that she felt like an older woman. But she said it didn't feel negative, it didn't feel dangerous, and it's just so weird. And I don't know, if you guys don't believe in that stuff at all, that's totally fine, I respect that. Like I said, I'm a little bit of a skeptic myself, but the fact that she just confirmed it, my friend had heard the exact same thing I was hearing. My boss then heard things. Now she's telling me that, oh yeah, I've sensed an energy from the first time I came here. It's like, okay, interesting. But she just basically told me that usually when spirits are hanging around, especially if they're not like a negative spirit, if they're doing things like making noises or doing things to get your attention, they just want you to acknowledge them. So she was like, just acknowledge it. Just like, you know, when you come in, she's like, hey, and it'll probably stop. When I'd come in, I would say hello and I would like not full on like talk to the ghost, but I would just be like, hey, it's me. I'm just here for work. And then when I'd leave, I'd be like, okay, I'm leaving now. Good night. Bye. And I don't know, maybe it was just that like I started to ease my own nerves by doing that, but I swear to you guys, it stopped. So yeah, I don't know. It's been months now since I've heard anything or anything creepy has happened. And again, to this day, like there's been no sign of a break-in, nothing has gone missing, nothing's been moved around. There's no sign or evidence that like a real physical human was coming inside. My mom actually was freaking me out because she was getting the idea in my head that maybe like a homeless person was sneaking in and was like sleeping there at night to find a warm like shelter. But we have an alarm system that we would set every time we'd close the salon and leave for the night, and it works, but that never went off. And again, there was never any sign that there was like an actual real person there. So I don't know, it was very weird. So then fast forward to maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was working late on a Saturday. I was upstairs with a lash client. It was my last one for the night, and I was the only stylist left at the salon. My other coworkers had went home for the night, and my boyfriend actually was downstairs in the waiting room waiting for me. We were gonna go out to dinner after, so he came to the salon to meet me so that we could, you know, go to dinner straight from there together. So he's downstairs sitting in the waiting room, and he went to get up to go to the back color room to go throw something out in the garbage. He's throwing out his trash, and all of a sudden he hears so clearly and distinctly right in his ear a woman saying, hey. Again, the door is locked. No one else is in the salon. It's just me and my client upstairs. I don't even think we were talking to each other. She was like sleeping while I was working on her. Keep in mind, he this entire time has been so skeptical. Like no matter how much evidence I give him, he doesn't care. Like he has just been convinced this whole time that I'm just hearing things, my mind's playing tricks on me. And now here he is, and he told me what happened. And he didn't even tell me like what the voice sounded like. He said he just heard someone say, hey. And I said to him, was it a female or a male voice? And then when he said, you know, it was a woman's voice, I was like, because that's what our client had said. She said it felt like a woman's spirit. So anyway, that is it for this video. Those are all of my paranormal experiences. Like I said, I love hearing these kinds of stories, so please leave me down in the comments any paranormal stories that you have. I hope that you guys liked this video. Like I said, I don't know what the hell this makeup is, so, but I don't know. I mean, it looks kind of creepy, right? Like I think if I dimmed the lights, is that a little bit better? Maybe not, I don't know. That's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you have a fun and safe Halloween, or had, depending on when you're watching this. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.